Yeah. Well, hello. Oh, glory. Get the cobwebs out of my throat this morning. How is everyone? Happy to be here. See, let's try to get over to a YouTube channel so we can check out what's going on. Top chat, live chat we need. Live chat. Okay, I need to think I've gotten, where is it? No sound, really? Is that right? Oh dear. Have we got sound yet? I'm hoping. Roman said there was no sound at 8:59. There is sound. Thank you. All right. Good. Because I wouldn't know what to do. Well, there are a couple of things I would do, but I don't know why it would be a problem. Could you hear the music? Was that coming through? It should have been, because it comes right into the mic. Hey, from Wisconsin, Pompeii Ranch. Nice to see you. Good to have you with us. Texas Snake ID. Tom Shepard. Natural Aquarist. Brad Hobbies. Xanadu. Paul Shreves. Good morning, Paul. Paul doesn't have a wrench. Let's get Paul a wrench. Gossamer Prince. I love Gossamer Prince. Just topped off his tanks. Well, all right. What did you top off with, Gossamer Prince? That's what we all need to know. Naresh. Hello, Naresh. Leslie's Aquatics. Hi there, Leslie. Glassbox Fox. Hello. Roman, sound's working now. Good. And I think that's everybody. I think. Who was here first? Roman. And then Naresh. And then Patrick. Hey, Patrick Paulson. Patrick is our master memist on Discord. If any of you are into memes, you need to go over to Discord and check out the memes and other foolishness thread, stream, channel, whatever. In which Patrick is the dominant presence. Remarkable stuff. I mean, just remarkable. There's one, I need to show you one. There's a really cool one. Just came up a day or two ago, and lots of people have just gone kind of gaga over it. Let me back up and find it and bring it up. It's here we go. Look at this. You're going to love it. If you don't know what the context of that is, Diana Wallstead has made several comments lately about how terrible sand is, and that I didn't think it was charcoal, gravel. That gravel is more appropriate. Our experience tells us otherwise, but that's kind of the aegis for this. And it's that what the meme captures is our willingness on this channel to examine unpopular approaches to fish keeping and to treat them. You're welcome, baby doll. Glory. Anyway, firecracker. What's a small fish that eats living things? I want to get high of shrooms and watch them go to town. What in the world are you talking about? A small fish that eats living things. I don't know any small fish that do not eat living things, number one. Want to get high on shrooms and watch them go to town. Don't know what that refers to, but I would be thoroughly, utterly, and completely cautious about eating shrooms. Now, I've studied in years past mushrooming, done mushrooming. I was always rather careful to only select those wild mushrooms that I had absolute certainty about. One can never be absolutely certain, but I was as certain as I could be. And that I wasn't selecting something that had a kissing cousin that was poisonous. I don't remember what the one I really enjoyed collecting was called, but it exuded a milky substance. I don't even remember what it looked like. And when fried, had a very nutty flavor. Loved it. The thing that's extraordinary about wild mushrooms, as opposed to belching, as opposed to the kind that are cultivated, is the flavor. I don't understand why cultivated mushrooms always taste like water and wild mushrooms always taste like the most glorious flavors Mother Earth can create. I just don't get that. In 80 years, Rohan's saying, Father Fish has done it all. I surprise myself sometimes when somebody brings something up and I've got, it's back there. I did that. It's just a strange thing. I mean, in 80 years, you get to do a lot of stuff if you stay active. And I guess I've always been active, always been curious and trying out things. There are things I have not done. I have not traveled extensively. I've been around maybe half the states, been to Mexico, been through the Caribbean. That about lets it out. Canada, a bit. Never been to Europe, never been to the Orient, never been to Asia, never been to Australia, Hawaii, never been to Alaska, actually. So I've not traveled at all in my life to speak of, only where I could drive or fly in. Not even flying. All of my flying has been, with the exception of a trip to Mexico. I did fly to Mexico years ago. And then rented a car and went to Toxco and saw the sapphire mine. Sapphire, is that right? Sapphire mines. And then went out to Acapulco and walked the beaches at Acapulco. That was long before it became a frightening place. I did have an experience, however. On the way to Toxco, we came to an intersection and were stopped by a number of armed men with rifles. Didn't speak a word of Mexican. They didn't, or Spanish. They didn't speak a word of English. Had my passport sitting on the dash. And fortunately, they looked at that and waved and saw it. So I don't know what that was all about. Obviously, they were not, When was that? 74, 75, along in there, 50 years ago. Let's see who else is here. Emily Stevens. Hi, Emily. Brad. Paul Shreves. We've said hello to those folks. Gossamer Prince. We did. He said just tap water with conditioner. I don't use lids. I get evaporation. And then the ones with HOV filters turn into babbling brooks. Oh, I like babbling brooks. One issue you might be concerned about. Let's see, that was Gossamer. Is if your tap water is very hard, has a lot of general hardness in it, then in time that's going to build up in your tanks. The evaporation is going to leave all that hardness behind, and you're putting more in it. So the best solution to that is periodically, every couple of months or so, do about a 25 to a 50% water change. If you let the water sit for a day or two so that you can use less conditioner. I'm not a big believer in conditioner, although I do understand the importance of getting chlorine out of the water. Free chlorine is one thing. That's pretty easy. That's a gas, it dissipates. But if you have chloramines, if your municipal water supply people have determined that they need to get chlorine and ammonia in your gut in order to kill the flora in your gut, presumably, then you need to do something else, up to and including not drinking that water, because it's really dangerous. It's dangerous for the fish too. So you use a bit extra dechlorinator, it breaks the molecule. The ammonia stays there, but if your tanks are heavily planted, then that ammonia is going to be absorbed pretty quickly. So it really won't be a problem. By the way, while I'm on the subject, I don't know if Lee is here or not, but he posted a video this morning that I have not had a chance to review, that talks about an ammonia spike in his 50-gallon tank. And I wanted to talk to him a bit about that. That may be just a factor of the water coming into the tank. It may be something else that's unlikely to be excess biologicals, because he's pretty careful about feeding. Just do partial 10% water changes. You can do it every day. You can do it twice a day if need be. If you want to buy an ammonia pillow that'll remove ammonia, that's certainly an appropriate thing to do. I don't have a problem with it. The only issue is it doesn't last very long. It gets chock full and then begins just dropping it back out. So if you do that, you're going to need to take it out after a couple of weeks, and then not use another one. I think you can restore them by putting them in an oven and baking them at 250 degrees for a couple of hours. I don't know. Double check me on that. But let's see. Let me go back. Roman said, I posted a question on Discord asking for help with breeding Chili rasbora. I'd appreciate some of this assistance from Discord friends. I'm getting some in today, some chilies, getting some nice fish. I'm going to be doing an unboxing a little later today, so you'll be able to catch that. Got some really, really nice stuff coming in. Excited about it. And it will be here today or dead tomorrow. It'll be here today. Let's see. Firecracker, only know of one for certain, talking about mushrooms and fish. Brad, yeah, I know he's not. I get that, Brad. I got that distinct impression. Is that, who is that? I see. Um, I'm going to give it one more shot. Firecracker, you're on notice. So I had to click off Chevy Fish. I don't know what she's referring to. Ads. Really? We've got ads? I didn't know we had ads. I didn't know we were monetized on live stream. That's kind of interesting. Is that true? I'm not aware of that. Tam Shepard. Hello, Tam. Hannah Robinson. All of our Discord friends are in. Roman Tam. Chevy. Hey, Chevy Fish. Silver Mines. Was it Silver Mines? Maybe. Could be. There were silver mines. Yeah, it seems to me it was a precious, a semi-precious stone. Amethyst. I don't remember. It was too long ago, 50 years ago. Brain doesn't work anymore. And I don't think we bought anything anyway, so we wouldn't even have that to prove. Ruby Begonia. Hello, Ruby. Jeff Pasternak. Hello, Jeff. Stocking of Fluval Flex 32.5. Wondering what you thought would be a good fit with Pistos. My word. Depends on what you're into. I mean, there's a broad spectrum of Pistos, some of which are very uncommon, some of which are otherwise very common. The more common ones are frankly the prettier ones. But with Pistos, it's not so much a matter of color. Once you really delve into the species, then you begin to look for behaviors and other kinds of characteristics of the fish that may be more appealing to you than simply having a lot of red on them. I've got some Pistos here that are rather nice, but they're very almost dull. They're not really colorful. And there are a lot of fish like that, of course. There are a lot of fish that do not have very intense coloration, but are nevertheless remarkable fish. Some of which, like, for example, keyhole cichlids, chocolate cichlids. Chocolate cichlids is a good example. A fish that's not particularly colorful until it comes into its breeding colors and exhibits subtle, very subtle colors that are just profoundly beautiful. So, depends entirely on what you're looking for. Triple reds, if you like color. Do triple reds by all means. Let's see. Emily is going to top her tanks off. She says. Going to top her tanks off with coffee today. Go for it, Emily. I don't think it could really hurt. I mean, face it, it's a humic substance. And that's really what we're all about here, isn't it? Might keep you awake, but then fish don't sleep. Some controversy about that, mind you. But my belief is that fish don't sleep. They rest. They do rest. But I don't believe they sleep. At least they don't close their eyes. Fish are incapable of closing their eyes. Anyway, coffee in your tank is a cap. That's a top off. In a moderate amount, if you're not putting sugar and cream in your coffee, plain black coffee or tea. I like to put tea bags in my tanks occasionally. Chamomile is one of my favorites, but Old English is good too. Old English breakfast tea bags, and chamomile tea bags. Every once in a while. Now, I don't put them in fresh. I make a cup of tea, and when I think about throwing them in the fish tank. I don't know why. I just do. And I've never had a problem with it. And my sense is that it increases the biological diversity. I mean, it provides elements, nutrients perhaps, that are maybe unique. I'm not opposed to adding things to the tank, so long as they're not toxic things, so long as they're not things that are going to kill other things off. But if they're things, well, somebody was talking recently about what it is. I can't even think. I don't have one here either. I should do it. Moringa. Talking about using moringa. Now, I've never put moringa in my fish tank. And the next time I find a bottle of it around, I'm going to do so. I'll put a couple of tablets in. Moringa is the new wonder drug or wonder supplement. I don't know how new. It's been around a couple of years. But very popular. And we have at least one aquarist among us who is supplementing their fish tank with moringa. I think any of those kinds of things are typically beneficial. It's normal for a body of water in nature to get a diversity of elements and organics coming into it. It's not unusual or remarkable at all. The aquariums we keep in our homes are really rather sterile by comparison to a pond or a lake or even a creek or stream in nature that's getting all sorts of things floating down into it, from the leaves of trees to the droppings of birds to the flowering of grasses. I mean, you name it. It's all coming into the water, and has been for millions of years. So we cannot assume that all of that is somehow a pollutant. It's not. It is naturally assimilated. It becomes part of the biomass of the system, and presumably improves the quality of that system. So there you have the father fish theses of the day. Moving right along. Somebody's in Southeast Florida. Who said that? I'm in Southeast Florida. That's all I caught. Keels are beautiful. They are. They absolutely are. Texas Snake said YouTube sent out a notice they'd be playing ads even if you're not monetized. Huh. They run ads before your videos. Yeah, well, every penny. That means they get to keep it all. They don't have to pay out that 1/10 of 1%. Right. Texas Snake said, I've met the qualifications, but they will not monetize me. Yeah, I don't know what's happened lately. The new algorithms are I think they feel like they're really shadow banning anybody who's under I don't know what exactly, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. It feels that way. Maybe it's not true. I don't know. By the way, Father Fish mug. Do you have your Father Fish mug? We still have a few mugs in stock, and we can always get more. We're going to put it here. Boom! Father Fish mug. With Father Fish's mug on one side and the front of the Father Fish Aquarium on the other. Available through PayPal. Simply send $25 to PayPal account name FatherFish at fatherfish.net. That's FatherFish at fatherfish.net. $25. Include your name and address, please, and specifically what you're requesting. and we will be happy to send you your very own Father Fish mug. There you have it. We're also trying to get Father Fish emblazoned on a t-shirt. We've got Teespring, but they're not letting me make a big one. So I've got to somehow get a hold of them and beat them over the head with that and see if we can get a big Father Fish like that on a t-shirt. We'll see. Oh, excuse me. Brad said you had a pre-roll ad. Well, it's nice to know. Story about my grandmother. Say the story about my grandmother. Oh, Naresh. Naresh wants to know the story about my grandmother and how she kept fish. My grandmother was born in Berlin, Germany in about 1900. At 12 or 13, before the First World War, she and a cousin of hers, who was a year older, 13 and 14, took a ship from Germany to the Baltimore Harbor. I don't know how long that took. A week, a month, I have no idea. But as 12 and 13 and 14-year-old kids, they on their own, I mean, they had the blessing of family, presumably, took a ship all the way over here to come live with an uncle because they thought there would be more opportunity for them. And things were beginning to heat up in Germany, so they wanted out. Came over here. It did not work out. Within a year, they were both back in Germany. And then within 6 months of that, my grandmother was back over here. Her cousin followed a little later, all just before the war broke out. Grandmother married an English fellow. Actually, he was a colonialist. His roots were colonial, Jamestown colony. Parks was his name. He was one of the early Parks. Married, had 2 children. One of whom was my mother, another her sister, my aunt. Both of whom were gone, tragic. I remember my earliest memory of my grandmother was of her fish tank. And I must have been, I don't know, 3 or 4. I don't remember much before that. 3 or 4. She had what I believe was a 20-gallon tank. No, in point of fact, it probably was a 10-gallon tank, which was pretty little, so it looked bigger. Sitting in a window on top of a plate that was on her radiator. Does anyone here know what a radiator is? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a metal contraption with tubes that go around and around and around and around and around, through which hot water flows that warms up a room. And they had plates, little metal caps on them. She had the tank sitting on top of that. And she had some fish in it. Guppies, I think. There was an early angel, but I don't remember when that came along. It had to have been much later, because angels in the early 40s were still pretty precious and hard to come by. 10 years before that, they were unavailable, except in very substantial amounts, for very substantial amounts of money, and they were all imported not by flying them over from South America, but by putting them on ships in containers of water in which they had to be kept alive for a month or more at a time. So by the time they got to New York City and were put up for auction, they would go for $1,000 or more. Eventually, enough came in to begin breeding them, and once they began spawning, it kind of opened up the market, and they became more commonly available. Really, not until the early '50s were they genuinely available to the masses, to the average hobbyist. So my grandmother's tank, she had a few plants in it, an acarus, I believe, Alodia, and guppies. And I was utterly captivated. Now, a little later on, when I was about 7 or 8, I told this story in one of my earliest videos. My parents bought an aquarium, and I believe that one was a 20-gallon long. And we had neons and platies, and I was utterly captivated. Sit in front of the tank for hours. So yeah, I've had fish tanks in my life since I was a little tiny kid, and have always owned fish tanks. There have been very few times in my life when I have not had at least one aquarium, and typically more. Jeff Pasternak. Hello, Jeff. Nice to see you. Texas Snake. Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Derek Thompson, Brown Hobby, Chevy Fish, Xanadu. I guess we've covered the back end. We're at 41 visiting. We're still picking up. Let's see. GRB. Hello. Texas Fish. I had a little CBD oil to my tanks to call them the rowdy ones. Much easier to feed that way. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't think that would work. I would be stunned. Ruby begonia. Using Moringa for fish is new to me, but I have heard about using it for shrimp. Gossamer prints, tea leaves release tannins. Yeah, it's true. It's all part of the humus. Building humus. Diane Altland. Hello, Diane. Nice to have you with us. We're going to give Diane a wrench here. Let's see. Moving right along. Detroit Shrimp and Fish. Hello, Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics. Nice to see you. Chevy Fish just posted a link to Father Fish's free Discord. Discord is remarkable. It's a 24/7 chat forum, complete with videos and graphics, pictures. You can post pictures. You can post little clips of your aquarium. You can even come up and talk live with video. We do that once a week. We're going to be expanding that to make it available to more folks. Eventually, we hope to be able to stream on Discord. We've got about 400 people over there, of which probably 200 are more or less active, with about 100 active on a regular weekly basis. So it's a growing forum. Lots of people coming over with problems. And we are developing a team of members prepared to deal with those problems. We have a pretty good training program. Stephen, the biologist, is in. I'm there. A few other people who are ichthyologists or have extensive training in the field are doing training. It's really quite a nice program that's providing genuine help for aquarists who are having problems. So come on over and visit Discord. A lot of fun. They're fun places, serious places, kind of you name it, even avant-garde research places like the Food Web. We have a Food Web channel where we talk about some of the advancements that we're making in developing natural aquariums. Chevy Fish said we have radiators, they always crackle. Yeah, they did, and they banged. You ever hear them bang? When they got an air pocket in them, they go bang, like somebody hit them with a hammer. Diane, hit disconnect. Oh dear, you're back. I hope, I trust. Let's see. Van de Groot. Van de Groot is here. Hello, hello. Oh, Ben de Groot. How did any fish survive on top of a radiator? You know, I was thinking about that myself. I don't know. I guess it didn't get that hot, or maybe in the winter she moved them or put something. I don't know. I'm too young to remember. But I was thinking the same thing. If we get right hot, but you know, maybe the rooms weren't all that hot. That's very likely, in fact, that the radiator was not doing that good a job and may not have even been all that hot. Interesting question. Don't have an answer. Misfit. Hello, Misfit. Nice to see you. Great to have you with us. Who else? A GRB says, my fish tanks as a kid in the 70s was any local waterway. Oh boy. I explored and caught all sorts of critters to check them out, enjoy, and then release. Now rangers, police treat kids exploring nature as a crime. I know it. It's true. When I was a child, the greatest joy in my life was getting into a creek or a stream and flipping over rocks. I absolutely adored it. Didn't realize I was destroying the natural environment. I would collect little crayfish, salamanders, and the like, little bugs, you know, whatever. Put them in a tank, watch them for a while, and then they'd go back. In Maryland today, it is against the law for a child to flip over a rock in a creek. I think that is an abomination. I think that law is straight out of hell. I do indeed. I believe it is evil. It is vile. It is opposing everything we know about the relationship between man and nature. It is malicious. And somehow, all of this vile malice that's a part of our current day culture needs to be caught up by the short hairs and thrown into the pit that it crawled out of. Is that strong enough? Deborah, Dee Dee's fin dam. We had a silver gourami that lived in a fishbowl on top of the TV. Well, you know, that's really perfect. It's like a betta. I mean, a gourami is an air-breathing fish. It doesn't depend on dissolved oxygen. And the water can come to the top, take a gulp of air, and be able to live perfectly effectively in very low oxygen water. So having a gourami in a bowl on a TV makes sense to me. And there are some pretty gouramis. I mean, that could be fun. Never heard of that. Isn't that curious? I never heard of that, but it makes perfect sense. Diane Altland. Hello, Diane. Patricia Powers. Good morning, Patricia. David Samsel. Hello. Patricia says Discord has been very supportive and helpful. I don't feel alone in this hobby anymore. It's wonderful. You know, that puts it really in perspective. Our Discord channel. Well, we have a channel there. The Discord server. We have a channel there called Friendly Chat, and people like Tisha take full advantage of it because Tisha is an enormously friendly person who has a diversity of hobbies and interests, and she talks about some of her other hobbies, as do others. I'm just using her as an example. But there also are channels that are very serious minded, where you can really delve into a given issue. A channel, if you have a serious problem, where you're going to be able to get help. If you want to be, as I said, on the edge of research, there are channels for that. If you're a playful soul like Patrick Paulson would love meaning, there's that. Just a number of different venues and avenues for expression, all of which are part and parcel of what we're about and who we are as hobbyists. So by all means, come on over. If you have trouble doing it, mention that to somebody. You can post a link or post a note on any of my videos. Post your email address, if you will. Try to get that to me so that we can be in touch with you and figure out, because there are people who seem to have trouble getting on. But do come on along. Be part of the party. SQ33QSA. Nice to see you, SQ. Derek Thompson. GRB Chevy. I guess I'm going way back there. I'm looking over on StreamYard. Back to, where are we now? Monster Fish Gal is here. Hello, hello, hello. Lisa. Oh, and I'm at the bottom. Look at that. Texas fish. It upsets me to know it's illegal to flip a rock in Maryland. Very disturbing. It is indeed. It is indeed. It is worse than disturbing. It is a demonstration that criminals, evil people, have taken over our government. That's how serious it is. It's evil. Evil. To exclude children from nature is an act, a fundamental act of evil. Rock pulling. Ruby Begonia was one of the greatest joys in childhood. Certainly was for me. I need to do something about this phlegm. I've noticed there are more and more videos on phlegm. Apparently a lot of people are struggling with it. I've been struggling with it for a while. It should be against the law for a kid not to at least flip one rock and taught, but to put it back like you found it. Yeah, I can buy that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Derek Thompson, we are just an extension of nature, like the blade of grass, like the many fish. Kids turning rocks is the same as corridors turning sand. Amen, brother. Amen, Derek. Let's see. There's Andy. Let's see what Andy has to say. Hi, Andy.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, it's raining.
No. You're talking to all of our streamers. We're live.
Oh, okay.
And they can hear you. So careful what you say.
Okay, do you mind if I stop out?
Stop out now. Come on along.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, you bet.
All right, bye.
Caught him off guard. Uh, Ruby says everyone over on Discord is so lovely and welcoming. It's definitely worth a visit. There's an amazing wealth of information for everyone. Absolutely true. What we're putting together there is a real resource, a genuine resource for the hobby. It's still very much in development. We're still learning how to do it and do it right and do it well, but we're getting there. It's going to be something that a lot of people will be able to take advantage of and appreciate. I'm going back a little bit. Gossamer Prince, very grateful for all the knowledge and experience in the Fatherfish Discord. I realize that at this point in time, promoting Discord is not benefiting me in terms of my YouTube channel. But my sense is it's providing something that YouTube does not provide. That is also very hard to find on Facebook, and not discoverable at all on Instagram or even any of the other social platforms. And I think the primary reason for that is that with our Discord channel, we are in control of it. And we're trying to apply principles that keep it open and friendly and supportive and positive. We do block people from Discord. We've done it at least twice. We even had a gang come over a week or two ago trying to create chaos, and we were able to knock them all off. So we don't tolerate abject stupidity is not a problem. Hostility. We don't tolerate hostility, either to the stream itself or to each other. Anybody who comes in with a hateful attitude is going to get knocked off and not be welcome back. So it's open and friendly. It is, in fact, open and friendly. And you'll find a friendly welcome there. You will be welcomed by name. We will want to get to know you, find out what you have and what you're doing. And as you develop, you'll be able to do more and more. You'll be able to kind of rise in the ranks, if you will, and take on more responsibility for the stream. So it's open in that sense as well. So anyway, it's kind of an experiment in doing what we would all like to be able to do. We'll see how it eventually works out, but so far so good. Let's see, I want to get to the bottom here. Rocco is saying, Miss Laurie, I put your stickers in the mail this morning. Hello, Rocco. Nice to see you. Rocco, Jesse has been having trouble getting on Discord, and I've not really been able to help because I don't know what the problem is, but I thought I might be willing to come up on your stream today and show her how to do that. I'll kind of hang around if I can be supportive in that respect. Mo M, I got the phone app of Discord. Cannot figure out how to find you. Should be simply Fatherfish. You can go to my YouTube channel, the community tab. Fourth entry down is a link to Discord. If you click on that, it'll take you over. That may be the easiest way to get in. Delighted to have you with. Oh, you're not streaming today. Okay. Yeah, see if you can get over there and then maybe help her. because she's there. She's in. She's sending DMs to me. And I don't know why she can't go from that to general chat forums. But somehow doesn't seem to be able to. So I don't know what the problem is. Kings is here. Hi, Kings. Good to see you. Adding leaf litter as you advised also gives them protection and nutrition, which will eventually help the aquarium ecosystem. Absolutely right on, Kings. That's right. By the way, I put my filter, I don't know if you can see this. Let me show you. On my microphone. I don't know if it's good or bad. If if you notice a difference, let me know. If it's worse, I'll get rid of it. It kind of blocks the screen a little bit, but I can tolerate it if it's going to make it better. Avoiding dairy helps keeping mucus lowered. Chevy says, yeah, I don't do dairy. I do cheese. Maybe that counts. Maybe. It occurs at night, and it's a function of probably a lot of dust in the room where I'm sleeping. I probably ought to put some kind of a filter in there. Because I wake up in the morning with a lot of phlegm and then spend half the day hacking it out. I do have mucus relief, which I always neglect to take. And I think it works. We'll see. Rocco, big fish tank, Bigfoot fish tanks. Bigfoot fish tanks, good morning. Hello, Bigfoot. Who else is here? Deborah, Dee Dee's Fish Den. Good morning, Dee Dee's. Nice to see you. Derek Thompson, Rocco, Monster Fish Cow, Mo M, Chevy, GRB, Kings, Gossamer, Derek, and SQ33QS. If you have a nebulizer, that should help nicely with the phlegm. I don't, but maybe I should get one. I will do that. It is so troublesome, and really is not pleasant at all to be hacking away as I'm doing these live streams. I'm up to 4, by the way. I'm up to 4 live streams a week, and I think I'll probably keep it there. This Wednesday morning is the newest. Beyond this, Monday morning at 9, Wednesday morning at 9, Friday evening at 8:30, and then Sunday evening at 5:30. We're going to try to make the 5:30 Sunday evening a children's program. If that takes off and does well, then we'll do a Saturday morning children's program. We haven't really begun to investigate that. We only know we want to do it. If there anybody out there, I know Tam has mentioned some things that are helpful to getting that together, but anyone who has done a children's channel, has children on a children's channel, knows how to do that and what it involves. What I don't want to do is create a new account. I want to be able to do it on the current account. Somebody is calling me from Maryland. Father Fish.
Hi, Bob.
My sister, yes.
Yeah. What's Tom's phone number?
Oh, well, let's see if I can get it.
Yeah, that's a phone number, but they don't go through to him.
I don't know if I can get it or not. Let me try. I have a terrible time figuring out how to use the damn phone. It just frustrates me no end. If I'm on a call, I ought to be able to bring down, let's see, let me try it this way. I did this once. Oh, I think I'm there. All right, hold on. I'm going to get it. And everybody's going to know my brother's phone number. Oh, well, he won't mind. Don't call him. He's not a fish guy. Nice guy, but not a fish guy. And he's an ex-Marine. So I'm talking to a bunch of friends online right now,
Okay.
Shirley. You know, that's what this silly conversation. Here it is, 410. Yeah, same. Yeah, it's 206-5772. I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm among friends. Don't abuse it, please. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I told you about Uncle Jim, didn't I?
No.
Well, I mean, they moved out of the house and they're in the community housing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I want to go see them, but I got to get my car. I mean, Terry will go too, but I got to call Brenda and get the address.
Okay.
I tried to call Brenda. I didn't have her number, so I got to try to get hold of Sandy. I can't remember Sandy's last name.
Yeah, I don't know. When you get there, call me so I can say hello to him.
Okay, I will.
All right.
It might be a little while yet.
That's all right.
My cat's real sick. I got to take my cat to get
Huh.
she's real sick.
All right. Thank you, Shirley.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You bet. My sister. She's talking about our uncle, my father's brother, who he and his wife are both 95 years old, and they just moved out of their home into a sheltered care. My roommate here is 93, and he's very adamant about keeping his own home and doing it his way. So keeps him going. Roman says the video is clear as it's been in ages. Do you know I've got a new provider, and I've got a much stronger signal. So yeah, so far so good. I was having a little problem over the weekend, but discovered that it was one of the devices that had corrosion in it. So we changed that out, and now so far we're in really good shape. Hail the great doctor. Yes, great advice on the natural system. This is Derek Thompson talking to Rohan. Fresh air, exercise, clean food reduces phlegm. Oh well. Dr. Sebi has some medicines for phlegm. Eucalyptus, here we go, Jeremy. Eucalyptus oil, hot water, steam inhaler, bath with a towel over your head. And then we got back to the nebulizer. Cheese good. I drink almond milk though. Gossamer says, is leaf litter okay with Corydoras? I reckon they can get under if they want it, but don't want to disturb their sifting. Yeah, it's perfect. It's exactly what they're interested in sifting because they're looking for microscopic life. The little worms, shrimp, little bugs, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, they like it better than sand actually, because it provides more to work through and more food. It's a better source of nutrition for them. Can I use any kind of dried fallen leaves? Yes and no. You certainly can. The critical issue is the mycelium. That's the and there are different kinds of mycelium, different kinds of fungus. There are fungi that are terrestrial and others that are aquatic. Now we've got a couple of people over on Discord who are trying commercially available fungal supplements, mycelium supplements available for gardening. We've had two people try it. One is just tried it in the last day or two. So no results from that yet. The other tried it a month or more ago and had tremendously successful results. So we think it may be possible to use a commercially available mycelium additive available for gardening in the aquarium in order to get that culture started. But that's the key to the leaf litter. So the best way to ensure you have that is to collect wet leaf litter that's partially broken down from a body of water. Put that in the tank, or if you're afraid to do that, put it in a resurrection jar so that you can get the culture going and then move that into your aquarium. But we're going to try the commercially available mycelium and see if that works. If it does, we'll be home free. It'll be a great way to deal with it without. Well, here's the thing about that. You know, I prize bringing wildlife into my aquarium. There are others who don't, who are afraid of it. So we want alternatives for them. And this will create, presumably, an alternative. Oh, what else? Going back a little. I'm going to stay on until 10:30, since Jesse's not going to be on today. Excuse me. We'll just stay up for another half hour or until Andy gets here. Let's see. Do you wash your sand before using it as substrate? It depends on how I'm using the sand. If I'm setting up a brand new tank, put a layer of dirt in the bottom, put a layer of sand on top of that before I put the water in. If I'm doing that, I do not wash the sand because I'm not disturbing it once it's in there. I'm covering it well so that when I put the water in, it doesn't stir it up and I don't get a lot of dust in it. My feeling is that the particulate matter, the tiny particulate matter, which in, for example, clay sand is clay, is beneficial to the system. It makes it an absolute mess if you try to pour it through the water column. So that's hardly worth doing because it's so difficult then to clear it up. But if you're starting from scratch with a bare tank and just layering in the substrate and then adding the water, you do not need to rinse the sand. Unless, of course, it contains cigarette butts, in which case you really should, because I'm not at all clear about the biological impact of cigarette tars and toxins in a fish tank. I've never put cigarettes out in the tank, never stuck them in the tank. Don't know about that. Might be fine, I don't know. But I wouldn't do it. Anyway, what else? I think I've picked up everything. Yeah, looks like. If there's a question I've missed, and there almost certainly is, Vanoksky is here. Hello, Vanoksky. Post it again, please. If I missed your question, and it's back there somewhere, I'm not going to be able to get back and look for it. Just post it again and I'll try to catch it. Fish and Tactics is here. Hello, hello. Gossamer is saying, need to rescape soon, so I'll try adding leaf litter. Now, a little trick with a leaf litter. Somebody on Discord today was saying they want to use gravel on top of the sand in order to create a looser environment for particulate matter to precipitate into. And that's fine. If you will mix leaf litter with that gravel, that'll open it up even more and provide an even better substrate. But my recommendation is, once you've even done that, add some just straight out half an inch to an inch of leaf litter on top of the whole substrate, and then plant into that. That's accomplishing precisely what farmers who mulch, who do no-till farming, are achieving, which is it's providing an organic environment for plants to grow in and for the food web to grow in. So it becomes a really vital, effective way of being able to create a very natural environment in your fish tank. King says, can I first put the dried leaves in a bucket of water and then put them into the aquarium? You certainly can. And you might try buying some of that mycelium product from a garden supply store. Get a little bit of it and try it. Put it in with the leaves. See if it doesn't begin breaking the leaves down. If it does, then you're going to be in really good shape. My assumption is, unless you're doing this outside, it could be difficult to get the fungus started. Don't know that it is. This is all rather new for us. We haven't really done this with an eye to the science of it. So it's all rather experimental at this point. But it is based on very sound research demonstrating the vital importance of leaf litter, of leaf matter in bodies of water as the foundation of life. Substantial research has gone into that and discovered that bodies of water that do not have leaf litter have a profoundly lower biomass than bodies of water that have leaf litter flowing through them. They are less healthy. All right. Yeah, Kings is saying that a gravel layer creates the nooks and crannies in which worms, insects, and arthropods can live and multiply. It has to be more so in the water column. Yeah, I would say so. But again, mix, there he is, Andy's here. Mix leaf litter in with that. It's going to make it even looser and will provide nutrition that, of course, the gravel will not provide at all. Andy's there. Hi, Andy.
Hi. So
How are
should
you?
I be
Good to
looking
see
for
you.
my oak leaves now?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, when I had my mom's house, right, had these two really big live oaks in the front yard,
Yes,
and I did nothing but rake leaves forever and ever.
right.
And I tried mulching them and everything else, right? You know,
Right.
so I could get rid of them. But should I go back and collect some?
Oh, well, some.
Yeah.
The best way to collect them, though, is out of
Out of
bodies
water?
of water.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get the mycelium and bacteria
Right.
and other living organisms in there.
Yeah.
It's just a better way to kickstart the.
Maybe I could take some oak leaves and put them in the water and then go back and
Well,
get
you
them.
could try, yeah, in an open body of water.
You
Let's
know
see.
where we go every day is Sandcastle Park. You know, the dog park.
Yeah,
And basically, you should come there with me, Ray. We'll do a little walk around because they have a lot of retention ponds and stuff.
oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
there's
check it out.
It's nice. We go there
Yeah.
3 times a day now with the dogs.
Wow. Let's see. Misfit is saying, would grinding up the leaves and mixing it in with your dirt and substrate suffice, or would it have to be more so in the watercolor?
Wow.
Yes, both. Absolutely. Although I think the reality is that if you're using potting soil, mulch, and peat moss, you've got a lot of humus in that soil already. You really don't need more particularly. Just certainly not going to hurt.
Wow, these saltwater tanks look good, love.
Don't they? Yeah.
they look great.
Derek Thompson, I drop red wigglers in once a month. They crawl in between the decaying leaves and sand pockets. I find the fish are less territorial with a more diverse and ever-changing environment. Well, that's certainly true enough, Derek. One of the tricks for introducing new fish to a tank that has territorial fish in it is to move all the hardscape around when you put them in. So everybody then is vying for new territories.
What are these little ones in here?
Coolies, those are golden mountain minnows.
Oh, wow. Okay.
About some back there as well. Yeah, they're holding up real well.
Nice. Yeah, all the tanks look great.
Let's see. Grinding up, where is that? We did that. We did that. Derek says grinding some up for the mud, the sand, and on top in flakes and powder are all good options to mix and match. Yeah, there are no hard and fast rules here. The critical issue is to get a rich culture going. The richer, the better. We're looking at some supplements that we can add to now that are going to make it even better. So we'll be talking about that as we move along. What is the rumbling?
Oh, it's storming.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I ran right into a big storm coming in here, right? So I couldn't do what I was going to do. But I was going to come and check on your Africans.
Oh, right here.
I got Danny on the hook for tomorrow.
Okay, well, we'll bag them up and ship them out.
Yeah.
I've got a shipment of plants to go out today as well. Too coolie for schoolie. Have you ever tried a dirted tank on a bit of a slope? Would gravity bring it to level eventually? Yes. There is a way to avoid that, however. If you want to have levels, use baffles. Cut pieces of semi-rigid plastic, like an inch or inch and a half high, 3 or 4 inches long. Put them down in, and then you can put, if you have them sitting up a little bit, a half an inch or so above the sand level, then you can backfill that, get it up a little higher, put another one in, backfill that, and so forth. So you can kind of terrace it, and it'll create a slope that'll look very normal and natural, but will hold its structure. It'll stay there. So there is a way to do it. Otherwise, it's just going to level out. Oh, Alex GM. Hello, Alex is here. Hi, Alex. Nice to see you. Good to have you with us. We're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about balanced tanks today. Talking about leaf litter and creating a food web. King says, I'm planning to add some alternatives like dried banana leaves, jackfruit leaves, guava leaves, as oak almond are not readily available. That should be really interesting, King. Misfit Sweet was just thinking of ways to hide the leaf litter. Some customers seem to look at it as unsightly. Well, shame on them. I mean, some people think anything other than gravel is unsightly. I think what we need to say to the so-called purists out there who want a sterile environment, we need to ask them a question. And the question is very simply, do you want healthy fish or do you want to replace your fish every 30 days? It's your choice. You can go either way you want. It's up to you. Your choice, your decision. And just leave it at that. I mean, give that to them and leave it at that. And if they say, oh, well, I can keep it going forever, well, fine. Maybe they can. But, I guarantee you, at some point in time, all of this manipulation they're doing to try to keep their water clean and pure, they're going to fail. They're going to get sick. They're going to be away for a day or two. Something is going to happen, and it's going to crash and burn. Why in the world would someone tolerate that when it is completely avoidable by creating a natural system that balances itself and that really is able to maintain itself long term. I can walk away from my fish tanks for months at a time and come back and they will look just the way they do now with a little more plant growth. Really. Months. Not days or weeks, months. I would not be afraid to leave these tanks for 6 months. Put a lid on them so they don't evaporate down. Turn the air off because I really don't need it. And just let them go for a month, for 6 months at a crack. And they'll be fine. I wouldn't do that with a bare bottom tank or a tank with an inch of gravel in it. They'll all die, won't they? Wonder why. Misfit, very, very true. Thank you. Derek says, preach. Yeah. Well, if I can't hear that, we're at 10:16. A few more minutes, and we're gonna shut this down for the day. We'll be back Friday evening at 8:30. In front of Lucas, he'll be in front of Alex. So we've got a triple header on Fridays for you. What else? What else? Somebody ask Alex a question. He's always full of helpful advice. Alex is saying, I always slope my tanks a good 4 to 6 inches. Tell us why you do that, Alex. That would be great. In fact, I got a link. You want to come up and say hello a bit? We'll be happy to chat with you. I think I can post. Let me see. Yes, there. Do. I got the link here. Let me try it again. There. If you would like, we would love to have you, Alex, could come up and say hello. What else? RB Animals Rescue. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Herp Diversity, I think we've already said hello to. I've kind of lost track. We are currently at 48 participants online with us. What else? Let's see. Those customers ain't aware the function of leaf litter, so they would look at it differently. Well, exactly right, but that's part of the learning process. You know, we need to teach people what it is to have a healthy tank. I mean, that's really the issue. All we're trying to do is create tanks that are really healthy, that are effectively balanced, that are providing everything the fish need and the plants need in order to be able to thrive without a lot of intervention, without getting your hand in there every day in every way. Alexander, look at this. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Happy to see you.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Pulled an all-nighter pretty much. Just did one of my usual manic working on fish research stuff.
Oh, cool. What are you working on?
I've been doing a bunch of research on fish of the Orinoco Delta because I got Ivan Mikolji's book, and I've just been fascinated by it because I'll show you real quick the habitats like you're talking about. It's just endless pictures. It's 20 years of his work. Wow. And almost 400 species. But, when you look at the pictures, it's mulm, dirt, leaves everywhere, you know?
Yep.
And
Yeah, that's really inspiring. Is that book going to be available to us?
yes, it is now actually. That I posted a review of it just yesterday or the day before, and I actually got him to give our channel a 25% off link and free shipping.
Wow.
So it should be the best deal that he'll ever offer, he said. And they've got 400 copies of the book left out of the 2,000 I think they made.
Wow.
But I mean, here's another picture, and if you can see, there's little fungi and hair and algae everywhere.
Wow.
On this Apistos nest. So I mean, you can really
I see it. Remarkable.
How alive everything, and it's just I mean, it's 400 pages of that, you know. So I
want to make sure I get one. I'll get a copy.
Yeah.
Are we ordering through you?
There's a code you can use if you want that $25 off, which is just you go to his website, Ivan Mikolji's, which is if you Google Ivan IVAN and then Mikolji MIKOLJI, you'll end up at his website, and then you just use the checkout code secret20 is what they gave me to use. So anyone can use it. I mean, anybody can feel free to use that. But I just wanted to promote the work he's doing too, because some of the money goes directly back to.
We lost him. We lost Alex.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Well, we're back and forth. We're losing our signal. Maybe me. May not be you. I don't know.
Okay, I should be back now. I turned off my Wi-Fi. I'm gonna cancel Comcast. I'm just getting so fed up with them.
Bravo. I did.
You did too?
I did. I use a local radio provider, and it's given me a better signal than I've ever had. The tower, in fact, is direct line of sight from my house, so I get the strongest possible signal, and it's a third the price.
Oh wow!
So just really been remarkable. And I don't do regular TV, so I'm not concerned about that. It gets in Wi-Fi, and that's all I really care about.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'll have to look into if there's something like that. But yeah, I mean, that book. I mean, just more and more as we see good footage coming out of the wild. For years, there was a tendency in books like Axelrod's books, which kind of dominated the fish hobby for since the 1960s. His books, he would show he would show fish in the wild, but they'd always be in specimen containers against a white background with a ruler, which is helpful for size, but it doesn't tell you anything about the fish, what they do, every day in and out. Yeah. So I've just been really moved by.
That's exciting.
Examining that, and what surprised me is seeing how much fungus and actual cyanobacteria and stuff that we immediately think, oh no, we better get that out of our tanks.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
even planted tank and nature aquarius, a lot of them think if it's fuzzy, you better pull it out immediately, and it just kind of makes me second guess some of that, logic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's been used.
I think it's a really exciting time in the hobby right now, because there's so many new influences coming in that are nature based, that are really founded on how these fish are living in their natural environment and how we can duplicate that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I appreciate that you are a champion for that. You know what I mean? You've been saying that all along, so.
Well, I think it's it's just so much a part of my hobby and how I approach the hobby and what it means to me. It's really a very personal thing. It's a sense it is with you because you're doing much the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's also an escape. You know, it gets me out of my own head, and in a way, I mean, obviously you are using up time and thought and energy on it, but it gets me out of the everyday anxieties and stresses and, you know, loops that you get stuck in, thinking about the same old things, worrying about the same old stuff. And sometimes you just need to like stop and look at both the complexity and the simplicity of a natural system, you know, and just appreciate
right. Yeah.
But you are asking why I slope my tanks, and literally the only tank that's on this early in the morning is the Father Fish inspired Aquascape, which is out of control right now. But it's got over 9 inches of terraced substrate in the back, and then comes down to about 3 in the front.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's substantial.
Yeah, and then the back here, actually, I built that with plenum in it, so it has PVC pipe in there and lava rock, and so water can flow through there a little bit,
but
like
holding it in place.
Yeah, and so it's not completely like a useless void of space. It is a low oxygen environment. And I don't know how much I buy that it's not even filtering that much, but it seems better than nothing. Because by that deep, you're really creating a carbon sink, which plants can access and things. But if I'm building it up like a terrace for aesthetics and it's that high, I can only plant this much. Like there's only that much tank left at the back corner.
Right.
So yeah, but I terraced it by doing that, and then I did rocks, and then it's a lasagna type layering of your style. You know what I mean? Where you do a gravel and then a soil and then a sand cap onto it. And then I did an aqua soil exposed in some spots and sand exposed in others. But I mean, it's out of control as far as the density of plants in there.
Oh, wow.
It
sure is.
So,
yeah, that's remarkable.
So, it's done. It never has algae anymore. I can leave that light on all day, whereas other tanks aren't that way in my house, really. But
yeah, I agree. I have tanks that the lights are never turned off.
Mm-hmm.
Never. In fact, the 4-foot tank, the 30-gallon, for years had 24/7 light on it. Never got an algae problem. Yeah, probably 5 years. Never got an algae problem. Now I leave the blue light on 24/7. But I do turn the white light off daily. Still getting 12 to 16 hours of light a day. I put a lot of light in my tanks.
Yeah, I mean, people forget that it's kind of the secret ingredient that limits a lot of people's systems. You know, even if you buy an expensive light, nothing beats even just the ambient natural light you have coming in the window. Could be stronger than any, consumer light that you're going to buy.
Well, so. It is. We can never duplicate the sun, can we?
No. So, and just the wavelengths and everything that are involved. And I've got some bright lights on that tank. I mean, I've got 3 different lights on it right now. But it shows me too, though, that the amount of plant growth that can come out of a tank. I'm literally taking a pound of trimmings out of it every 2 weeks, probably. And
now,
it just
let me say something about that, because I had an experience with my oldest tank where I was doing that. I was using it as a mother tank, if you will,
Yeah, yeah,
and pulling stuff out. After about 5 years of that, the tank stopped being productive.
yeah.
I was pulling so much material out of it and not replacing it that eventually it just depleted it of nutrition.
Yeah. Well, but to me, it's just incredible that it can convert what it does into material. I mean, even if I were to dry out the plant material, I mean, it'd be interesting to dry out the plant material and burn it and see how many calories it literally converts to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To know, I mean,
and so quickly. It
yeah.
happens really quickly. Yeah, right.
And it's not right now. It's running with 0 nitrates, which I mean, most of my tanks I don't care about nitrates at all, but that one just happens to have 0 because of the way how dense the plants are.
Right, it's sucking them all out. Yep.
Yeah, and I literally have to add nitrates every single day in the form of liquid if I want those plants to keep growing, or in root tabs or in supplements. But I did embed I mean, it's only a year old now, that tank, and I have I mean, I set it up much the way you do with iron and various supplemental, magnesium, zinc, manganese. So I got a hold of some basically soil enrichment,
Right.
macro and micro elements that I put in that 9 layers of substrate too. But it, especially when you cap it off, then you can allow the plants really to be the ones to tap that resource rather than it being in your water cycle. And then that's why the back is so tall, is so that I could put the lava rock in there and kind of put it in a pipe, like a big PVC pipe that has holes drilled in it, so that it would stay separate from all those nutrients and wouldn't leach out into that.
Yeah.
But it was a total, going out on a limb when I did that experiment when we'd been talking every morning about a year ago, and it's been a really good tank. So I think the next tank that I do an Aquascape setup like that on, I'm going to do something similar. So
nice. Well, thank you for coming up, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
I guess we ought to quit for the day. Been here we'll see you Friday.
Yeah, it was good to catch you. I think I'll be I think I should be free to probably before the show on Friday too. So hopefully I'll be able to stop by then too. So good to see you, and always good to see everyone in the chat. So have a great day. Take care. You look good. You look like you got some color on you.
Thank you.
As I look paler than ever, even though I've been outside every day.
There's a definite pink hue about you.
Yeah,
you look very healthy.
Yes. All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye, Alex. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, we're down to it here. Let me pick up a little bit of music. And we're going to, you know what? We probably ought to just go off with the same thing we played earlier. Might as well. Here we go. Hi, all. Nice to be with you. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, Diane.
Very cool.
Kenny is here. Hey, Kenny. Sorry I missed you. Kenny Ken.
baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Bye bye all. See you Friday evening.